Hi, this is Dan, and this is Stripsang II. In my first strip song, I kind of gave a general overview of my own spiritual search, how I got started, and kind of all the way through to how I feel right now. So I thought in this strip song I would kind of concentrate on the reasons why I personally got involved in spirituality, in this non-dual spirituality, and kind of extrapolate from that reasons why people in general, I think, get involved in non-traditional Western spirituality, and also kind of talk about what is it people are looking for and how are they trying to get it. So in my own case, I guess I was just basically unhappy as a kid, anxious and worried all the time, and I have OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, like folding the tie a certain number of times in a certain way, and also anxiety disorders, constantly worrying, and also I had some depression, not too bad, but so basically I just wasn't happy and didn't know why. I never really believed in traditional Western religion. I didn't believe in God or in Christianity. So, in kind of a roundabout way, I got introduced to Eastern religion. So, when I was in college, for the first time I read about Hinduism and Buddhism, and they talked about how the mind is what kind of causes happiness or unhappiness. And it's not outside things, it's not material things, but it's rather how the mind interprets it. Because the way we're brought up, especially in the Western world, is that you're happy if you gain all these material things, right? Like you go to college, you get a good job, make money, buy a nice car, nice house, get married, have children. It's supposed to make you happy. The thing is, though, if you actually look around the world, you see that all these people have all these things and they're not very happy, right? So, kind of just makes you think, right? Something doesn't look right here. So I never was interested in kind of the Western way, and I just got interested in Eastern religion. And so I got interested in Buddhism, interested in Rajneesh and Osho, and then I began to meditate because I thought, aha! The key to happiness is not gaining all these material things and getting rich and nice job and getting married, having sex and all this stuff. It's controlling the mind. So I thought that if I could learn to control the mind, control the thoughts, figure out how they work, now I can be happy, right? I'm not going to fold the shirt too nicely here, so my OCD isn't that bad anymore, obviously. And so I began to meditate. I read different things about meditation. And then I heard about this thing called enlightenment, which I didn't really know what it meant, but it's supposed to be something really cool and good. And, if you become enlightened, you're peaceful and you're calm. The Buddha's just sitting there. And I thought that if I can meditate and get this thing called enlightenment, I'll no longer be anxious and worried and depressed, and I'll just be blissful, happy. So, I didn't really know at first exactly the best ways to meditate, and I kind of winged it, did it on my own, just kind of. I read some stuff that Rajneesh, Osho talked about, and I tried some of those things, and with some success. I didn't do anything like formal, didn't do Zazen yet. But the whole time, the whole thing is there's this goal, and it's kind of funny because you go from being greedy for material things, right? You go from being greedy for success and jobs and relationships, and then you kind of reject all that, right? But now you're greedy for something even bigger. You want this big, huge thing called enlightenment, which is like the ultimate. Now you're just totally peaceful and blissful. I mean, this is even better, right, than getting a big car and a big house and a big family. So I started to meditate, and I can't really say I had any super special experiences or anything. I did have one kind of interesting experience. I guess you could call it a spiritual experience. It was just kind of a sensation that I was looking into a big, like, dark void, and if I let go, I mean, I don't know, physically or mentally, but if I just let go, I would kind of like disappear into that void, and it was extremely frightening. It's kind of like I would die, you know, if I let go. So I didn't let go. I came back, and I didn't really put a huge amount of importance on that, but I guess maybe that's my one and only kind of spiritual experience, you know. So things went on, I meditated more, I tried different things, and eventually I actually joined the Zen Center. I joined the Zen Center in Seattle, and then I started doing, you know, formal Zen meditation. So instead of just kind of hanging out by myself in the bedroom, sitting on a cushion or laying in the bed, I would do some kind of like formal meditation. You know, and the whole time I'm like reading these stories about the Buddha and these Zen masters, and you know, like how cool it is to be enlightened, and all these cool Zen stories that are all like romanticized, you know. And the whole time I'm just becoming, like I said, greedy. Now I'm like really greedy for enlightenment. I don't really know what it means. I just know that it's something really good, right? It's going to take away all pains and all worries and all troubles, and yeah, it's like going to be really, really cool. But, you know, it's like not happening. And I'm trying, I'm meditating, and I'm doing what you're supposed to do. And then when you hang out at these Zen centers, you got people there that have been there for like 20, 30, 40 years, you know, so of course they're going to tell you, well, you know, it's not going to happen in this lifetime. You know, it's like you got to, you know, be sincere and earnest, and maybe in your next lifetime, in your next incarnation, then you can become enlightened. Because, you know, the Buddha was enlightened, but the Buddha was a real special guy, you know. And, you know, why do you think you're going to be like as successful as the Buddha? So, you know, kind of like do your best and have these little insights, and then maybe in a few more lifetimes you can become enlightened. I was like, geez, you know, that doesn't sound too good. I want it right now, you know, like now. And so every time I meditated, I was like very frustrated because it's not happening. Where's my enlightenment? And eventually I left the Zen. I moved back to Rochester, in the area where I grew up, and I joined the Zen Center here, and they have like this really long established Zen Center here in Rochester. It's one of the original Zen centers, and I joined there, and I used to go like twice a day to meditate. So I meditated like 2 hours, 3 hours a day. But when I was there, I was in the library one time, and I was waiting for the meditation session to begin, and I pulled a book out of the shelf. It was for Wei Wu Wei, and he was talking about non-duality, and talking about how no effort is needed, you know, there is no self. I said, hey, that makes a lot of sense. So I started reading that, and then, you know, I got I Am That by Nisargadatta Maharaj, and then I kind of switched from the Zen method of meditation to the non-dual method of no method. But, you know, still I was greedy. I wanted this enlightenment thing, you know, this big lightning strike that was going to make me peaceful and blissful and never worrying and never depressed, you know, just everything be like, whoa. But then it's like it's not happening, and I just keep getting frustrated and frustrated and frustrated. So the whole time I'm trying to have this enlightenment experience, right? And it's supposed to be like something like oneness, you know, you're experiencing oneness. Now, I didn't really know what it would be like, but they kind of say that, well, you'll know it when you see it. Well, I wasn't seeing it, you know. And I'm getting like desperate, not desperate like I'm going to, you know, kill myself or anything, but just really, really frustrated. And then, you know, it just kind of it dawned on me, like, how can you have an experience of oneness? if everything is one, then how's the separation there to have the experience? Like there's me, there's the experience. Then also I kind of realized that even if I have an experience like that, experiences come and go, right? So it's going to turn into a memory. Let's say I have this special enlightened experience 2 weeks ago, and now it's just a memory, right? Now it's something that happened to me 2 weeks ago. So why is that such a big deal? Now I'm going to keep latching on to this memory for the rest of my life, and I'm going to go out and have satsangs and teach people stuff like, hey, I had this cool experience 4 years ago, and now I want you to listen to me and give me money, and I'll tell you about my experience, which is a memory right now, and but it's really cool, and so you should listen to me. So those two things were kind of the end for me. It was I'm waiting for an experience I can't have, and even if I have it, it's going to go, and then all that's going to be left is a memory, and then what I'm going to live the rest of my life on this memory. So anyways, I'm oiled up enough, so that's it for Satsang 2.